The neighbor teases the man about his house, but when she peered inside, she ran out of things to say. As Carol peered at her new neighbor's home, she felt her stomach coil up into a knot. How is this possible to occur? This was meant to be a beautiful neighborhood, where moms sip coffee and watch their children play safely on the street. There had never been anything like this before. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. She glanced once more at her neighbor's house, unsure of what to make of it. She simply had to take action. Before her neighbor returned home, she had to get things done. Carol Smith took great pride in her community. She had lived here for 10 years and had seen a lot of people come and leave. She lived there permanently and cherished the secure suburban atmosphere the community provided. Anywhere else would be against her want to live. Suddenly, something happened in this picture-perfect community that would alter its atmosphere and permanently alter Carol's life. Carol woke up at approximately midnight when she heard a vehicle driving down the street. This hour of the day usually saw very little traffic, much alone any noise. She was not fond of being awakened. She massaged her eyes and yawned. She peered out the window of her bedroom to the street beyond. Her heart leaped in her breast at what she witnessed. She could see the field next to her house as she peered through the window. A little home sat there in the darkness on the field. The locals have been telling stories about this mansion for a long time. They said that it was either haunted or that a horrible incident had occurred there many years ago. As far as anyone could recall, the mansion had been deserted for a very long time. That much was evident. That is, until one day. With her pulse pounding as though she had just finished a marathon, Carol continued to gaze out the window. Through the little house's window, she could see that something was moving. There was something within. But what? Particularly in the middle of night, who would move into that eerie old place? Carol felt uneasy and found it difficult to go back to sleep. Carol went to the old house first thing the following morning to greet whoever was there. She even made her renowned muffins. She was determined to learn the identity and reason of the occupants of this mansion. She spotted traits she had not before seen as she approached the house. This was something entirely different from a typical dwelling. She laughed out loud as soon as she was 20 feet from the home. During the day, the little pitiful cottage that appeared scary in the darkness was everything but. Would anybody ever choose to settle here? Perhaps there was no other option, she surmised. But as she laughed, she realized someone had been observing her from the house's little porch, a male. Her laughter gave way to fear. Derek was the new neighbor who introduced himself. Carol had been thinking about the man all night, and she had so many questions for him. Even though the man didn't seem to be fazed by her inquiries, he didn't answer many of her queries, and he hid behind the entrance door when Carol talked to him. Did he want her not to discover what was inside? Something had to be hidden from him. Following their brief exchange of words, Carol began to leave the modest dwelling. She had a sinking feeling that things was not quite right. She was sure there was something in that house, even if she had no idea what he was concealing. Carol had to devise a method for discovering the truth. Her determination to unravel this riddle was stronger than ever. After a few weeks, Carol had chatted with every neighbor. They were laughing and conversing about the modest house while standing outside. It was a jest. The dude was too funny to be real. Carol remained at her starting point, uninformed. Even though her new neighbor had been quite reticent after their conversation, she was as keen as ever to learn his secrets. She was determined to solve it no matter what. Derek didn't seem to be employed, or if he was, it seemed like he was working from home. He never seemed to leave his residence after 5 p.m., and he was never seen out on his morning commute. Carol never would have imagined seeing something in her idyllic neighborhood until one dark night. When Carol woke up at 11:30 p.m. to take her cat outside, she stared out her window at Derek's house intently before heading to bed. Then, she heard a heavy thump as she was about to go back into bed. To her astonishment, Derek arrived at his house in his car as she raced to the window, but he wasn't alone. At this hour of the night, what was he doing? What was his whereabouts? What's more, why was he out at this particular time? Carol felt a knot in her gut when he emerged from the car and proceeded to the trunk, revealing something unsettling. The bag was big and lengthy. It resembled a rubbish bag in several ways. The bag contained something. Though she couldn't quite put her finger on what it was, Derek had to lug it across his front lawn to his house since it appeared hefty. Carol's heart fell. It can't be what she believed, can it? Her stomach turned to mush. When Carol told her husband what she had seen the next morning, he just assumed she was insane. Carol, though, knew she wasn't, quote, T-dot. She would always remember what she had seen. She had to take action, and she had to act quickly. The truth could only be discovered in one manner. Carol considered her options as she stood in her kitchen holding a cup of tea. She needed more proof, so she couldn't go to the police, and her husband was never going to be able to assist her. But while she sipped from her cup, she noticed Derek looking anxious, walking out of his house. Carol knew what to do immediately after he got into his car and drove gone. It was the only way to acquire the truth, albeit she wasn't proud of it. Carol grabbed her keys and walked out of her house as she saw Derek zoom off into the distance. She realized she had to move quickly since she had no idea where Derek was heading or how long he would be. She dashed out her front door, crossed to his house, and disappeared into the foliage Carol started for his back door. But time was not on her side, Dot. She needed to move quickly. When Carol crept into Derek's garden, she was shocked to see how well kept it was. Vibrant flowers and neatly manicured bushes were scattered around. She moved toward the rear window, passing through the garden. She looked inside and was speechless at what she saw. It must have barely been 172 square feet inside. The tiny house's total area was split into 4 pieces, each located on a separate floor level. There was a bedroom area on the top level, and it appeared that the space beneath the kitchen floor was used to keep a washing machine. How was Derek able to live this way? Carol pondered in her mind. The sound of her name being shouted abruptly interrupted her thoughts. With a quick movement of her head, she noticed Derek looking at her. Carol finally had the truth after a candid conversation that lasted for almost an hour. It came out that Derek had been residing here while awaiting the completion of building of his new home, which was located on the opposite side of town. He completed the interior and outside of this modest house himself. Carol was astounded. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.